Goblins, usually called gobos by their orc cousins, are the smallest and perhaps the most numerous of the greenskin race. They are in general a miserable, treacherous race of petty thieves and vicious cutthroats. The common goblin or plain goblin can vary greatly in size and habits, but all of them are universally small, scrawny, nimble, and evil-minded. Goblins can be found just about anywhere, but are often divided up between several distinct subspecies that are fairly unique in their culture or physiology than the more common goblin. For instance, the night goblins are famous for living exclusively within cave systems deep underground and have a strong aversion to sunlight. The forest goblins are known to dwell almost exclusively within the forest, hence their namesake, where their primitive lifestyle and constant worship of spiders makes them an all-too-common threat for many lumber communities within the old world. Fire kobolds are goblins that have adapted to volcanic areas like the Red Cloud Mountain. Troglogobs, in contrast, have adapted to aquatic regions and are often found in or near rivers or near the sea. In faraway Nagaroth, escaped goblin slaves have gone native, being called frost goblins. The turquoise-skinned Noblar are a distinct offshoot of mountain or hill-dwelling goblins living within the slopes and river valleys of the Mountains of Morn. But perhaps the smallest and most pathetic of the goblin species are the snotlings, creatures so dull-witted and simple in their behaviour that they serve no purpose in greenskin society other than as pets or emergency food. Goblins often live on the cast-offs of other races and frequently thrive in the shadows of their larger, brawnier cousins, the orcs. Since most orcs are too lazy or dull-witted to do anything other than fighting, goblins are often used as the primary labour force for many greenskin tribes, often doing menial acts and labours such as hunting, building, herding and crafting. While they lack the size and brute strength of the orcs, they are considerably far more cunning and intelligent by comparison. Goblins possess just enough intelligence to craft simple tools and build crude buildings, traits that are usually non-existent to most orcs within a tribe. Nevertheless, due to their weak and cowardly behaviour in a society that only respects strength and brutality, goblins naturally don't possess a powerful position within orc-dominated tribes. In some cases, goblins have been known to split off from their abusive cousins and form into their own independent goblin tribes. Usually the most successful goblin tribes consist of either wolf riders that roam the deserts of the Badlands to the south, or night goblin tribes living within the mountains to the east. When in battle, goblins are cowards by nature, and would most likely run from the enemy rather than face them in combat. Only in the most overly obvious circumstances where victory is believed, a certainty will they actually take up the courage to fight. Most goblins are extremely weak as individuals, and so they would naturally band together in large groups or mobs as a form of protection. In large numbers and with some proper encouragement, a goblin army on the attack would almost always outnumber their opponents by nearly 3 to 1, using their overwhelming numbers as a way to smother their enemy in a lethal green tide. Goblins normally wear scraps of crude armour and form into their own war bands of lightly armoured infantry equipped with wooden shields, rusted swords or hunting spears. Most goblins, however, prefer to kill their foes at a safe distance, utilising the use of primitive bows and throwing spears to tackle larger or more powerful opponents.